Good evening, everyone. It is 2000 hours Central Standard Time. All regular amateur traffic, please stand by because you are now listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. This is heard Thursday nights here on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club frequencies and the University Link repeater system. First, let me ask, is there any emergency or priority traffic on this frequency? Hearing none, I want to tell you that I am transmitting tonight from Dripping Springs using the 147.320 repeater located in the Oak Hill neighborhood of Austin, Texas. For more information regarding the club or the club's repeater system and how to become a member, please visit our website at n50ak.org. You can also participate in this net using the University Link repeater system. For more information about the University Link repeater system, please visit ka5d.com. If you're outside of the Austin area, we'd also like to hear from you, and the way to get in is via Echolink by connecting to KA5D-R or K5TMT-R. You can also reach us via All-Star by connecting to node 51444. Once again, if you are listening through the Oak Hill, or actually for the first time, if you're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system and you want to participate, i.e. if you want to transmit, be sure you set your tone to 114.8. If you're on the University Link repeater system, you need to set that tone to 97.4. For club members, we also have our very own Thursday night discussion and video net channel on Discord. As of right now, I am the lone person in the... Oh, wait. I think we have somebody else in there, but they're kind of blacked out like I am right now because my timer lights just went out online. But we have a few people in the video chat, so please come by. My name is Steve, KI5UKF, and I will be your net controller for this evening. I want to tell you that this is a controlled net, which means that stations should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment time. If you're new to ham or just new to the net, the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net is a social net. That means we get together every week to share knowledge, ask questions, and really just hang out. It's really easy to check into this net. In just a bit, I'll ask for short-time check-ins and take down a list of all stations who can't stay for the entire evening. And then a little bit later on, we'll ask for regular check-ins for those of you who can stick around a little bit longer. Once we have everyone checked in, I'll go down the list one at a time, and I'll give you the floor. If you missed the first round of check-ins, don't worry about that. We'll grab you on the next round. I do want to say let's try and avoid topics of politics, religion, or anything else that's potentially inflammatory. We're trying to keep it clean, nice, and appropriate here, as we do have young hams participating. I'm going to pause now for another station identification, and then we'll get to opening up the net for short-time check-in. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N50AK. All right, now it's time for short-time check-ins. A short-time check-in means operators who cannot stay for the entire net. I'm not going to open the floor for comments or questions for the short-timers after I visit with them a little bit. That way they can call in, say hi, get on the log, and go on with their evening. If you check in as a short-time later and want to check in later and join the net, please feel free to do so. Just wait until we call for regular check-ins. So, if you're busy tonight, but you still want to check in, I am looking for short-time check-ins anywhere. Please come in with your call sign and your name. Please send it to me phonetically, kind of like you were trying to explain it to a third grader from Nepal. Come on now, short-time check-in.
This is November 5, Sierra, Mike, Oscar, Bill, short time.
This is Kilo India 6, Hotel Quebec Tango, Ken in South Austin, no traffic.
This is Kilo India 5, Yankee India Alpha, Marshall South Austin, no traffic.
This is David, November 5, Yankee Alpha November, North Campus, no traffic.
Steve, Alpha India 5, November Delta in Oak Hill, no traffic.
Whiskey 5, Whiskey Tango Hotel, Pat, Echo Link, Austin, no traffic.
All right, so we had check-ins of 6 folks tonight. All of them had no traffic except for one, so let's go to Bill in 5SMO. Bill, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, and good to hear you there running the net. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, nothing really exciting other than just hanging out a lot more on 10 meters, man. It's been like soon daylight hits, getting in on Digi into Europe, and about an hour or two later after that, sideband's been working to the East Coast and Southeast and Lake Ohio Valley on sideband on 10 meters, and afternoons it's working good the other way, so into the Pacific. So yeah, just enjoying that low band noise while you can get it. That's about all I've got. I'll be hanging around for a little bit, and I got someplace I need to head out to. N5SMO, back to you, Steve, and the rest of the net on the N508K Thursday night net.
Bill, real quick before we let you go, have you had any experience on 10 meters recently on voice? I'm trying to push myself into the Digi world, but it's kind of hasn't happened yet. Just curious as to whether phone has had any good luck on 10 meters this week.
Yeah, for sure. I've been hunting parks on the air stations on 10 meters, and people are starting to realize it's working. I've been picking up a few there every morning the last couple of days, and yeah, into Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Ohio, just looking through the New York here, and then in the afternoons it's been working pretty good during the midday, north-south, like up into Montana and the Dakotas and Oregon. So yeah, sideband's working. There's traffic there.
Great to hear, Bill. Anything else you want to tell the group before we let you go tonight?
I just want to mention the collegiate QSO party's going on this weekend, and also the Oceania QSO party. So if you want a chance to work some Aussies or New Zealanders, it's probably a good opportunity, and also a good chance to get on the air and work some of the college clubs that are out there as well. That's it. Back to net at 5SMO.
Hey, Bill, real quick, for those of us that are kind of still new in the hobby, those two QSO parties that you mentioned, are those specific bands and specific modes, or are they kind of unlimited?
Let me see here. The bands are always, let's see, the collegiate is all bands except the work bands. So 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. And it's CW phone and digital. And let's see, the Oceania DX contest, same thing, same bands, the non-work bands. And it is what is it here from Mode? Phone only. Phone only. Back to net.
All right, Bill. Well, thank you so much, and have a good evening. And again, if you're still sticking around a few minutes from now and want to check in back in regular, that would be awesome. So great. Let's move on to we had KI6HQT with no traffic. We had Marshall KI5YIA with no traffic. We had David N5YNA with no traffic. AI5ND with no traffic. And we had Pat on Echolink. I'm sorry, Pat, I didn't quite catch your call sign, also with no traffic. So let's just do a station ID real quick. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N50AK. So let's go back now and give the short time check-ins one more shot. Anybody else want to check in short time? Come on now with your call sign and name, kind of slow and phonetically, so the slow folks at Net Control here can get it down.
Tiz. Whiskey 6, Foxtrot Uniform, Will.
Brad.
All right, Will, Whiskey 6 Foxtrot Uniform. Let's go to you first. How's it going, Will?
It's going good. My second appearance in as many weeks. That's pretty rare. Bill was talking about 10 meters opening up. He's right. During the day, oh my goodness, I'm getting all the way over to Europe and South America and all over on voice, which is pretty rare on 10 meters in my experience. Once it opens up pretty good, and it's been pretty open. But once that sun goes down, you're out of there. It's dead again, from what I'm seeing anyway. Still playing with this new hex beam. I fired up some FT8 yesterday. Wow, Argentina, Russia, Spain, Hong Kong. It was just going everywhere. Pretty cool. Guess that's pretty much all I've got. Hope everybody has a good evening. Hello to everybody on the N50AK repeater, and I'll give it back to Net Control.
Yeah, so Will, just curious, on your 10 meters, what kind of antenna are you operating?
So I'm running, I just a couple weeks ago bought a VHQ hex beam. Does 10, 12, 15, 17, 20, and 6. It's only about 20 feet up in the air, and it's supposed to be about 35 feet up in there, but I've got to figure out how I'm going to get it up there reliably. So in the meantime, I've just got it kind of on a temporary military mast like you'd see at field day. But yeah, it's going all over. Can't complain.
Well, I'm sure everybody here has a car jack, so we can just kind of put those on top of each other and just kind of boost that thing up as far as you need to go. But yeah, it sounds like that hex beam is working really well for you. It kind of sounds like that's the holy grail of antennas. I'm kind of here in the wire-only world, so but anyway, it sounds like that's working well for you. Anything else to say to the net tonight?
I'll just say that I was running dipoles for forever. And it was pretty hit or miss if somebody could hear you, and if they come back with this hex beam, they come back every time, which is really weird for me. But anyway, yeah, new experience, directional antennas, new experience for me. So that's fun. That's all I've got for the night. This is Will, Whiskey 6 Foxtrot Uniform. Hope everybody has a good evening. We'll see you next week.
Great, Will. You take care. After Will checked in, I had someone that checked in, and I could not get any audio on them. So if there's somebody out there that either checked in or still wants to check in for a short time, come on now with your name and your call sign slowly and phonetically, please.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Romeo X-ray. Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Romeo X-ray. This is Brad in St. Paul. No traffic.
All right, so good to hear from you, Brad. I hope you're having a good evening. We're going to move on now from our short time check-ins into our regular check-ins. But before we do that, let's talk to Rusty, WZ5BBS. The BS in his name is really not intended to mean anything, but he is going to talk to us tonight both about our general test exam questions as well as to give his president's update on club news. So, Rusty, how's it going?
Well, I'm totally full of BS. Hey, Steve, thanks for running the net. And yeah, let's do some exam questions. See if we can get some people interested. Our first exam question: on which of the following bands is image transmission prohibited? On which of the following bands is image transmission prohibited? Is it Alpha 160 meters, Bravo 30 meters, Charlie 20 meters, or Delta 12 meters? If you are a technician and would like to play tonight, come with your name, call sign, and your answer. All right, we'll do that one more time. On which of the following bands is image transmission prohibited? Alpha 160 meters, Bravo 30 meters, Charlie 20 meters, or Delta 12 meters. If you are a technician and want to play along, then come with your name, call sign, and answer choice. All right, let's open the floor to anybody. If you have an amateur radio license and would like to play, come with your name, call sign, and answer choice.
K5 Delta Alpha Victor, that would be B as in Beta, 30 meters.
All right, we got K5 DAV in for Beta. Anybody else?
Cat 5 UKF, I'm gonna join on the Beta.
All right, we got Steve on the Bravo. Steve, I think it's a problem on the repeater. It's not you, but thank you for doing that. Anybody else want to play along with tonight's question?
N5 YAZN with 30 meters.
All right, N5 YAN. I think you said Bravo, and then I heard PZ in there with Bravo. Let's go back to David, N5 YAN, and did you say Bravo?
Yes, sir. 30 meters. Iridian data only.
Well, that's a lot of Bravo. Good to hear you in there, Ernesto. Let's see what the correct answer is. On which of the following band is image transmission prohibited? The correct answer is indeed Bravo, 30 meters. All right, question number 2. Except in some parts of Alaska, what is the maximum power permitted on the 630-meter band? Except in some parts of Alaska, what is the maximum power permitted on the 630-meter band? Answers are as follows. Alpha, 50 watts PEP. Bravo, 100 watts PEP. Charlie, 1 watt EIRP. Or Delta, 5 watts EIRP. We're going to open this up for technicians since that worked out so well for the first one. If you are a technician and would like to play along, come with your name and call sign and your answer choice. Oh, we got so many quiet technicians tonight. All right, let's open it up to anybody. If you want to play along, come with your name and call sign and your answer choice, please.
KI5 UKF. I'm going to challenge the question. The answer is Echo E 1.21 gigawatts.
KI5 PZN, I think it's the 5-watt one.
All right, well, I'm calling out PZN since Bill didn't answer. Ernesto looks smart because he waits for Bill to answer. Ernesto, tell me, give me something.
I thought it was one with 5 watts, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, we got Ernesto in with Delta, 5 watts EIRP. Anybody else want to play along? Man, we're going to turn this into the cricket net. All right, so guess what, Ernesto? You got this right. Everybody knows Steve's full of crap, so 1.21 gigawatts is not it. But PZN got it right. Except in some parts of Alaska, what is the maximum power permitted on the 630-meter band? And the correct answer is D, 5 watts, EIRP. And there you have it. All right, so there's our exam questions. Are we doing official club business, or are we going to fox hunt, Steve?
You go ahead, Rusty. Thanks. And by the way, the 1.21 gigawatts was a Back to the Future answer, and I think it's completely accurate, just for the record. Over to you.
Scott, all right. Official club business, we are still at 572 members. We've got no new members as of last week. If you would like to become a member, it is free to join, and you can do so at n5oak.org. We are also looking for donations. If you have anything in the couch cushions in the back seat, or, just go rob Steve's house. It's on QRZ. Give it to us, man. Zelle is the way to do it. You can learn how to donate and send any kind of donations our way at n5oak.org. I'm just kidding. Don't go rob Steve's house. We all know he's got bad taste. While you're on the website, you can also buy all of our N5OAK gear. You can get T-shirts and coffee mugs. You can get handcuffs. You can get anything that you want with our logo on it. Go do that at n5oak.org. You can even check out the new contest calendar that we have there. Next club meeting is Saturday, October 21st. It is coming up, y'all, at the Austin branch of the Austin Public Library. All the details are on the website and in the Discord channels. We got Will, KC2ZZR. He's going to be talking about Meshtastic and the Austin Mesh Club. They have a meeting coming up this Friday at the Black Sheep Lodge. Details are in the events if you would like to join them. I think it starts at 6, but I'm not 100%. And after our quarterly club meeting, if you're looking to get licensed or if it's time to upgrade, you can do so as well. Sign up online at n5oak.org. Just click on the Get Licensed tab. You can sign up online, get everything done, pay for the class, the whole bit. It's $14. So if it's time to make that happen, n5oak.org, and you too can be licensed. We got Belton coming up this Saturday, October 7th. It's going to be an early morning, so get there by about 5 a.m. It'll be done by 10 or 11 maybe. So yeah, Belton is this weekend. There's a whole lot of people from the UT Club, the A&M Club, the Oak Club, the Austin Club. It's going to be quite the pilgrimage down to Belton, or up to Belton, I should say. If you don't know anything about Belton, you can find out on the web. We have a Hamfest channel on the Discord, so come get a hold of us and come join us at Belton. It is October 7th. The park potluck is November 4th, and I just put the details up. We've got parks on the air station. We've got fox hunts. We're going to bring food. We've got some fried chicken. So if you are not busy on November 4th, by all means, come and join us. The McKinney Falls State Park just opened up parking passes and get you in. So get in there, make it happen. It's $6 a person, and you will need those in order to get into the park. We're going to have to wait for Sky to tell us what's going on for the fox hunts. I don't know if we'll have any fox hunts this weekend since it is Belton, but there is that. We typically meet up with the Austin Club. We go crash the Austin Club Old Man Breakfast at the Waterloo Ice House at 183 in Furnace. You can find the details on that. This Saturday is probably going to be pretty light because everybody will be in Belton. But if you are up in Pleasant and want to talk about ham radio at 8 o'clock in the morning, come meet us for Old Man Breakfast at the Waterloo Ice House. I think that's about all I've got. The easiest way to stay up to date is to subscribe to the official club calendar. You can can do that at n5oak.org. Just click on the calendar tab to make that happen. We have nets from all the clubs, all the frequencies, all the everything, and anytime we add anything, it is magically added into your calendar. So go subscribe to the club calendar. I think that's all I've got. Steve, KI5UKF, thank you, sir, for running the net. We will send it back your direction.
Thank you, Rusty, for, again, giving tonight's exam questions and also our club update. Let's do a station ID. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. We are here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central. If you're just now joining us and you want to participate, make sure if you're on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system that you set your tone to 114.8. If you're on the University Link repeater system, set that tone to 97.4. My name is Steve, KI5UKF, and I am your net controller for tonight's net. All right, let's move now to our Fox News. I'm going to turn it over to Sky N5LX. Come on, Sky, give us the Fox News.
This is N5LX. You guys hear me? I'm not going to go on until I get a signal report. I'll make sure I'm getting in.
Signal's good, Sky. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, unless I lost track of the time, in which case I'd have to go back in a time machine to figure out what was going on. Anyway, the fox hunts for this last weekend were pretty good. I mean, there was a relatively easy one that I hosted. Another one hosted by John, KE5RS, which was kind of interesting. But I'll get to that in a second. So the Sky Fox, or Tree Fox finders for this last weekend were Dirk, AF5WW, and Mark, N5UMT. He's a pretty regular fox hunter. John, KE5RS, Brent, KJ5CCZ, and Paul, KA5FZU. Everybody seemed to, only a couple of people weighed in, but they seemed to enjoy that hunt. I don't think it was like super hard, but hopefully it was a fun location. I retrieved that fox after dark, and the logbook had kind of disappeared, and I was wondering if, well, maybe I just didn't see it. But so I went back the next day in daylight, and it was just down the trail a little, so I found it. But anyway, thanks to everyone for participating. I'm going to reset real quick. So the main event, which was John's fox hunt, KE5RS, the transmitter finders were Dirk, AF5WW, Rusty, WZ5BBS, Ernesto, KI5PZN, William, KC6ARO, Paul, KA5FCU, and I found it too. David, K7TBA, I think he mentioned on Discord that he gave it a try, but he was unsuccessful, so hopefully he has better luck next time. I'm not sure what happened, but it wasn't, the last part of the hunt wasn't easy, and I'll explain that in a second. There was a bit of a buzz about his hunt on Discord because it was kind of unusual. Finding the location seemed kind of routine to me, but the Fox signal was stronger than like the typical Microfox 15 that most of us are used to. But once you kind of zeroed in on the location, the transmitter actually proved quite difficult to locate. I'm going to reset again. It was really well hidden in the bough of a tree, and the form factor was quite a bit smaller, I think, than most of us are used to, or maybe what we expected. So the combination of, I think, being in a tree and hidden amongst the leaves and the branches and being painted black and a little smaller than what we anticipated, I think that made it challenging. And just to give you an example, it's kind of funny. I think the typical time that people reported spending on site trying to locate the thing visually, even after they had kind of zeroed in on it, was about 30 minutes. Now I think maybe Paul or some of the other guys didn't take that long, but I sure did, and I think Rusty said pretty much the same. We walked around that tree, around and around, and looked all around. I'm sure we were a sight to see for people. It was a beautiful location, too. It was a park. So I'm sure a lot of people saw us and wondered what in the world we were doing. But anyway, it was a really fun hunt, and I'm actually looking forward to more, variation in the hunts like that. I thought it was pretty cool. Let's see, what else? I'm going to reset again. Oh, I was going to say, that hunt was really interesting to me. It was a little bit different. But if anybody else out there wants to share their story about it, maybe when your turn comes up, let us know what you thought of it. I'd be curious to see what other people's experiences were. And also any other memorable hunts, for that matter, that come to mind. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the fox hunts we had this last weekend. So as part of Fox Hunt News, I always like to remind everybody that if you're interested in this radio direction finding thing that we're talking about, but you haven't had a chance to try it yet, you can find more information. There are links on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club website, but mainly there's a Fox Hunt Discord channel, and there's a lot of information on there and sort of an ongoing conversation about it. And there's also in the upper right, you can click on the little pin messages icon for directions on how to build antennas and even some tutorials on fox hunting itself. So anyway, I'm not going to be hosting a fox hunt this weekend, but we usually have maybe a fox hunt every other week, sometimes every week. So just stay tuned, and check out Discord for up and coming hunts. And that's pretty much it. This is N5LX, back to net control.
Sky N5LX, thank you so much for that update. Really appreciate it. And again, it's probably a little slow weekend for the fox hunts, but again, that's always something this club does, and it is a great thing. And although I've never successfully found a fox, I'm looking forward to the day when I do so. Let's do a station ID. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N50AK. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m. If you're just now joining us to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system and you want to participate by transmitting, you need to set your tone to 114.8. If you're on the University Link repeater system, you need to set your tone to 97.4. My name is Steve, KI5UKF, and I am your net controller for tonight's net. In just a few minutes, I'm going to be looking for regular check-ins. I want to let you know that no membership is required for regular check-ins. Any licensed operator is welcome to check in. Before we start tonight's check-ins, I want to talk about a potential question, and to kind of shake it up a little bit, the first person that checks in gets to pick the question. So what do you want everybody else to talk about tonight? The first person that checks in addition to checking in and saying hello, needs to tell us, what do you think the subject should be for everybody else to talk about tonight? All right, so let's, again, encouraging new hams to check in. So if you're a new ham, we'd love to hear from you. Now we want to call for regular check-ins, any mode, anywhere. Please call with your call sign and your name. And again, slowly, phonetically, kind of like you're giving it to a third grader from Nepal, because that's kind of where I'm at. So turning it over to you for regular check-in.
This is a very tired Kilo India 5 Uniform X-Ray Whiskey. James down here in South Austin.
This is Kilo 5 Delta Alpha Victor. David out here in Buda.
This is Kilo India, and I bet I'm more tired. Kilo Echo 5 Romeo Sierra.
Kilo India 5 Papa Zulu November Ernesto.
This is November 5 Lima X-Ray Sky.
All right, let's call that our first round. I did have at least one double there, but I'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and start at the top with James, Kilo India 5 UXW. James, what's going on tonight? And you get to pick the topic that everybody talks about tonight. So huge pressure on you, James. What's going on?
Well, hey, good evening to everybody listening in. This is James, KI5 UXW. For those of y'all who know me, this is a chance for me to brag, and those of y'all who don't know me, it's also a chance to brag. I am the president of the Lhasa High School Amateur Radio Club. Bit of an update from Lhasa. We've been working on putting up a new antenna up on the roof of our North Annex. It is a Cushcraft R6000, affectionately named Reisinger 6000 for our former sponsor. And we're setting it up for our new sponsor, Miss Owens, for her classroom to have a radio station. And as to answer why I was tired earlier today, give me a sec. College applications are I wouldn't say full swing, it's like the last second day. I'm hoping to have my Texas A&M application in by their early action date by October 15th, and then by that time, I've already finished my UT application, but I need to finish my Plan 2 honors. So it's just a whole lot of work, whole lot of writing. Then on top of that, your usual AP Calculus, BC, campaigns and elections, AP European History, AP English War, blah, 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 blah. Classes plenty. And so, yeah, just pretty tired. As for what I think the topic ought to be for tonight, something that's very near and dear to my heart, simply how we can reach out to hams who are licensed but aren't active in our community, or reaching out to schools and other youth organizations about how we can get them also into ham radio. As it currently stands, I'm working with the Troop Triple Nickel 555 over down here in South Austin to get them hooked on ham radio. So I'd like to hear what everybody else thinks up on the subject. So I'll return it back to you, Steve.
That's awesome. I assume if you're with Lhasa, then you were in high school. As I understand it, that is a high school program. So, first, congratulate you on your communication skills. You're coming across very clearly. Your thoughts are expressed very well. And so I just want to say good job on your communication skills. I'm kind of interested, how many people, how big is the Lhasa Amateur Radio Club? Over.
Copy that, yeah, KI5 UX over here. We had a max out about like 15-ish last year. That included myself, Mr. Fisher, and Mr. Reisinger, so about like 12 members, but not everybody showed up all the time. Right about now we're, I guess carryovers from last year, and this year our regular group here is going to be our Mr. Fisher, K5EJL, myself, KI5UXW, Lucas, KI5ZWE, Daniel, KI5 Zulu Uniform Foxtrot, and then Kale, KI5YPB, Yankee Peanut Butter. We also have Nico Torres and my brother, so if my math is mathing tonight, I believe that's about 7. However, actually there's another one, kid named Ken who's in a few of my classes. He seems to be he seems to have a passion for blowing up electronics. He's a big fan of the YouTube channel Electroboom. He's definitely had some pretty interesting proposals. It'd be nice to actually put some of those to use, but he does show up on a pretty regular basis, get on the radio, chit-chat, talk electronics, which is fun. Then we have another new member, Emily. She's also in a few of my classes, and showed up this past Monday. We got her on the air and made a QSO. In fact, her first QSO was out with a station in Germany, so that was really, really cool. And then we also have another new member who he joined at the beginning of the year. He's a freshman. His name is Seth. He's working on studying, getting his license. He shows up pretty regularly. And then I think that's about it. I think there's 2 more kids that kind of been showing up kind of off and on that I think we'll be able to snag for Radio Club. So if anybody's been keeping track, that's besides the loss of ARC. Back to you.
Well, James, I think I speak for the older members of this club in saying that we thank you for trying to, push the hobby out to other people. We think it's an important hobby, not only for personal enjoyment, but for public safety, and so great to hear that. So now I want to pass it along to anybody out there on our net tonight. Does anybody have any questions or comments for James? Come on down.
10-5, LX.
Go ahead, Sky.
Yeah, I just had an idea, a thought, and it didn't hurt. It's for James, but also for everybody else in the club. I ran across some kids raising money for Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts today, and it occurred to me, I don't know if we already have, but we should be reaching out to some of those kids' clubs like that. I talked to the parents, and they seem to be really receptive to the idea, that they could add it to the things, that their kids can do to, try to learn new things and have fun and maybe get a sense of what's going on in the world, get some exposure to technology. Anyway, just thinking out loud. Back to you.
Hey, yeah, copy that. Thank you so much for the comments, Sky, and good to hear you on the net this evening. Actually, speaking of Boy Scouts, I did mention it earlier, but I'm working with the local Boy Scouts troop here, Troop 555. I'll be giving a whole presentation and demonstration on ham radio, I believe October the 16th. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm hoping that, because originally I heard that the Capital Area Council for Boy Scouts was kind of trying to put together a ham radio group. Well, not group, club. Like the call sign's like K5DSA or something like that. I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. Let me see if I can go help us. So I go and check the QRZ page. It's like, oh yeah, we're looking for Boy Scout hams. And I'm sitting there kind of annoyed as an extra class licensee who runs a high school club that's only looking for Boy Scout hams. I mean, it makes sense, but I feel like it's kind of hurting them that it's limiting. But I'm kind of hoping that if I can get involved, when I get involved with Troop Triple Nickel, I'll be able to kind of help spread a little bit more ham radio to I guess, other groups, because they see, oh man, this is really cool, look at what they're able to do on the camping trips. And then also have them kind of spread that on over to the Capital Area Council for their new ham radio group. Back to y'all.
All right, that's great. Anybody else have any other comments or questions for James tonight?
Hey, and first, a couple things. One, Troop Triple Nickel, Troop 555, man, we got to get those guys on Tuesday and on the air. Those of you who join us on Southside Simplex know what I'm talking about. I have been invited, and I asked me to come out. Jim. Boy Scouts annual on the air, and it's coming up just on October 20th. It's coming up 20th, and they actually got me involved way back. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So you said that you presentation on like the 16th, which would be the previous month. Why am I not holding a repeater? Sorry, guys, not sure why I'm holding a repeater. So also, James saying there is the Boy Scout Jam Friday, October 20th. All right, I'll try with K5.
Yeah, copy that, Ray. You were kind of in and out, but I got most of the gist of it. Jamboree on the air coming up October 20th. Well, it depends, whether Triple Nickel ends up really liking ham radio or not. Then I'll say, hey, y'all, in just like 4 days, there's going to be Jamboree there, and I'll need to go and kind of see who actually is doing it here in Austin, but then also hopefully use Triple Nickel's contacts to see who's doing it. But I definitely agree that Jamboree on the air would be a really cool thing to do. See y'all.
All right, cool deal. Yeah, I think definitely the Scouts is such an awesome area for us to investigate for potential, spreading our club out and our hobby out. So let's check it out now. Anybody else have anything to say for James tonight?
This is David, November 5, Yankee Alpha, November.
Go ahead, David.
Hey, I just wanted to wish you good luck with your college applications. Give you a bit of a hard time for missing the net, but also I wanted to say if you have looked into the Georgia Institute of Technology, or no, not Georgia Tech. If you've looked into Georgia Tech, they've got a really nice amateur radio club. If you haven't already, at least look them up. It's a really incredible place. I had the privilege of touring their campus. Back to you.
Hey, yeah, copy that. Good to hear from you, David. Yeah, I'll go take a look on the Common App to see what the applications for Georgia Tech were like. I saw a really cool club, Case Western Reserve University. Like, their double E program is just a little bit smaller on average. Well, at least I think it is. But they kind of have integrated amateur radio into kind of the whole culture and dynamic of double E. In fact, I'm actually working with Case Western Reserve University right now through my high school's radio club to actually do some research on this year's upcoming solar eclipse. What they're looking to do is kind of I can explain a little bit more about it later. I don't want to pester Peter with my recollection of what Professor Kasdan said. But if any of you are interested in helping out in this research, all you guys would need is an antenna or a receiver, really, that'd be able to pick up any of the Canadian CHU frequencies. So if any of y'all are interested, give me a ping over on the K5LBJ Club channel. I'll be happy to tell y'all more.
Thanks, James. I will do that. If you wouldn't mind writing it down, I'm in the middle of a big assignment. I would definitely like to learn more, especially with the antenna required, because if you know, the UT Shack has currently been disabled. N5YAN.
Copy that. Yeah, whenever I get back home, I'll make a note and I'll ping you later on the channel. But I mean, really, the only antenna requirement is just you need to kind of tune into one of the CHU frequencies. They have 1 year 20, they have 1 year 40, and 1 year 80. If you have an antenna that can listen to it audibly, I mean that's kind of all you need. Back to you.
All right, and I don't want to hold up the net too long, but do you know if they need a calibrated S meter?
Sorry, the question was, do I need a calibrated S meter, correct?
Yeah, I'm wondering if they want an exact readout in, microvolts or dBm or, dB microvolts of the voltage from the antenna receiving these stations. I'm not exactly sure what they're looking for.
But yeah, copy that. I guess I do have a little bit of time to elaborate. The current design right now is, of course, Case Western will send this to us, and I guess if we ask nicely, some of y'all too, but it's just like a Teensy. For those of y'all who don't know, a Teensy is kind of like an Arduino on steroids. It has a much faster clock, and all it does is you need to have your receiver tune in exactly onto one of the CHU frequencies. And then it just takes the audio output and then kind of turns it into data. It's really cool. If one of y'all reminds me whenever I get back home, I can post some I can post some screenshots of some of the data or example data I've got from Case Western. It's pretty cool data, and I can hopefully give a brief explanation that doesn't take too long to write. Back to y'all.
All right, thank you, James, and that does clarify it. So I'm assuming they're doing some sort of an FFT or some other measurement for the or with the receive audio, and yeah, I'll bring it back to net now. November 5, Yankee Alpha November.
Go ahead, David.
Thanks, Net Control. I was just saying that the teensy is interesting because it means they're not using the raw voltage at the antenna, but they're doing some sort of analysis, whether that's in the frequency domain or in the time domain. Anyways, back to Net Control, N5YAN. Sorry for the double.
No problem whatsoever. All right, does anybody else have anything else for James? He's with us tonight as the president of LASA's Amateur Radio Club. Come on down with your name and call sign. James, well, thanks for your participation tonight and all that information. And we are obviously big supporters of your operation out there at LASA. And just let us know how we can help. I know that I would personally be happy to help with anything we can do to make that program good, to spread out our hobby among other people. So now let's move on to David in Buda. I think it's probably the same David we were just talking to. David, what's going on?
This is K5DAV. Still learning some net etiquette. Thanks for the time here. Still trying to get some of my antennas tuned in. Mike gave me a idea the other day to isolate my cobweb to get my HF coming in a little better. Looking for my first time up in Belton for the Hamfest, so it should be interesting, but I got to get back in time for the football game, so I won't be there very long. But that's all. I'm looking forward to the football game on Saturday. That's all I really wanted to talk about, and thanks for the time. We'll talk next time, 7-3.
All right, David, well, not so fast. I mean, first of all, your call sign, did you say DAV as in Victor? Because that's pretty cool that you called that call sign with given your first name. And then second, so I guess you're planning to go to Belton this weekend, is that right?
Yep, that is correct. It is Kilo 5 Delta Alpha Victor. Not disabled vet. Sorry, I am not a disabled vet, although I've been, asked about the call sign. I got lucky on the call sign. It was left for 2 years, unregistered, and so I got in and I sent in my request, and it got approved, so I just got lucky. That is correct, so I intentionally went for K5 Delta Alpha Victor.
Well, David, I'm sorry, but I just can't help but say, all night, all day, Dave TV. That's just pretty cool that you got that call sign for your name. That's really awesome. All right, does anybody have anything else to ask David tonight, Dave TV tonight, who's going to Belton? Anybody else want to talk to him about, what they're going to do there tonight? Come on now with your name and your call sign. Well, David, frankly, I think you just intimidated everybody by your cool call sign, because I know I'm intimidated, because that's just bad. I don't think you say that. That's really cool. So anyway, wish you well. Good trip. Have a safe trip to Belton, and we'll catch you later on down in the next net. So next, I had a call sign. It was a Kilo and I think a Z, but I'm not sure. All I heard was a comment of more tired. So I don't know if that's you, Ray, or somebody else. That's Ray. So, Ray, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Steve? Am I holding the repeater now?
It's a little more scratchy than usual, Ray, frankly, from you, so I don't know what's going on. I heard there's some problems with the repeater. I'm not sure really what's going on, but I can hear you now.
So I'm close to Oak Hill. So it's interesting that tonight I was causing the repeater to freak out, so I switched over to 250. So I'm coming to you on the 250, and apparently it's better. So I've got quite a bit to share with you. First of all, rest in peace, Dick Butkus. Those of you like myself who are football fans will understand. And the first thing, shout out to all my Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club friends. Am I?
Not right.
Ray, can you set the output power to 1.21 kilowatts?
Hey, KF5UXW here. I absolutely love that that comment.
Yeah, I realized what I did wrong. I meant to switch repeaters and forgot. Am I better? Yeah. So here's what happened. As I mentioned earlier, I was giving trouble to the Oak, and I meant to switch over to the 250, but the 250 is kind of scratchy on receive, so I've been listening to the Oak, and I meant to switch the button over to the 250, and I forgot. So now I'm on the 250, and apparently I sound fine. Is that correct? K5BZI.
Still a little scratchy, but totally audible now, so yeah, I think we can work with this.
Hey, Roger. I wanted to make sure that you guys could hear me because I wanted to give a real shout out to my friends with the N5OAK Club. For those of you who don't know, I lost an uncle this week who was really close to me, and over the weekend had to do a lot of stuff in relation to that. And it's a personal issue, so I didn't really share it with a whole lot of folks. But those of you on the Oak who knew, I just want to shout out to those guys who sent their best wishes and their support. I really, really do appreciate it. And guys, this club is like a family to me, and it was really helpful, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you. With that, Monday, Tuesday, I had to drive about five plus hours each way for the funeral and all that, and got home about 1 o'clock last night. So I am definitely more tired than anybody else checking in tonight. So thank you, Steve, for hosting tonight. I know I had put myself on the log to do so. I really appreciate you filling my shoes there. I'll cover it next week. Let's see, the other thing I wanted to mention was Winter Field Day is coming up. We're going to be out at Fred's Place as usual. And so you guys start keeping an eye on the Winter Field Day channel. It's now October, which means Winter Field Day is right around the corner. It is officially the last weekend in January. And it's a lot of fun. It's out in Lockhart, so it's a blast. Never made Field Day, you got to come, man. It's a blast. And I'm going to bring my military radios out again this year. They ought to work even better than they did last year. So hopefully we'll actually make some real contacts on the old RT-13 this year. Let's see. I said, I don't know if you guys heard me, but I said rest in peace, Dick Butkus. What else? Oh, yeah. So what I was trying to say earlier is Jamboree on the Air. America's annual ham radio event is called Jamboree on the Air. It's what got me involved in ham radio to begin with way back in the 80s. It is coming up on Friday, the 20th of October, and I will be helping Rusty's brother out with a club, with a group. So that'll be fun. So yeah, check them out. October the 20th will be Boy Scout Jamboree on the Air. Get on the air and support the Boy Scouts. And one last thing, and I'll let you guys go. I know my audio is terrible tonight. I think my vertical is susceptible to the rain, so I'll make it short. But eclipse, the full eclipse is coming up my birthday weekend, April the 8th, It's happening next year, April 8th, with my birthday's on the 9th, so it's going to be a party. We're making plans. I've set up a new channel on Discord for the event. We're going to try to set up a special event station. So jump over there on Discord on the Eclipse Special Event Station and come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I could use some help with the organization and the planning. Thanks to those who have already volunteered, including you, David. Shout out to David, TVA. And, yeah, that's all I got. I know it was a lot, but thanks for holding on with me. Sorry about the audio quality. 730 listening tonight and back to net.
Hey, Ray, thanks for all those announcements and information. And again, I know I speak for the club and wishing you peace and grace on your loss to your family. That's awful. I've got an uncle I'm close to, very, very, very close to, and very, very same kind of feelings here. Kind of curious on your eclipse, and just kind of wanted to add on that there is another annular eclipse that's going to occur in the Austin area on October 14th. If you had any thoughts about that, annular eclipse is kind of different because this is not a total eclipse, which means you cannot freaking look at the sun while this thing is happening at any time, or you will burn your eyes out. So please, everyone listening, write that down. Ray, anything going on for the annular eclipse? Over.
So, as everyone can imagine, I'm sure group events take time to plan, so no. This one stuck up on me a little too fast, so the best I could do was next year's April total eclipse. I reached out to my buddy that owns Ranch 3232, where we do summer field day, and he is fully booked, but I assured him that we will try to make it out there again this summer for field day, and he's looking forward to having us again. We might even get a special deal on the big cabin, so keep your ears open for that. But yeah, no, too soon, man. I couldn't make things happen. K5BZI.
I understand. I was so emotional about it that I ended up buying 20 acres in Junction, Texas this past week. So I actually have a place for both eclipses, and I would love to talk about people. I'm planning on going out for October 14th, but actually, obviously, I didn't buy the acreage for that purpose. I hope to live there someday and be able to shoot pelicans or whatever you do when you're out on 20 acres. Anyway, anybody else have anything for Ray tonight, or any questions or comments or thoughts for Ray? Please come on now with your name and your call sign.
K7TVA.
Go ahead.
David, K7TVA. Ray, yeah, thanks for getting the momentum going on the eclipse. I'm excited for it. I think it's a good event to roll some radio into, because the totality only lasts a matter of minutes, but you can enjoy the event for leading up to it. And there's definitely going to be a lot of radio activity going on. I have gone ahead and requested the 1x1 call sign, so if that goes through, then we will have November 5 Oscar. I put down April 6th through 9th, so we'll have a little bit of a window to use that. Back to you, K7TVA.
That is fantastic news, my friend. Thank you so much for that, and I really appreciate it. Yeah, N5 Oscar, special event station, total eclipse, April 8th. So I'm looking forward to it, and we'll be hot and heavy, guys. So come join us over there on the Eclipse channel on Discord. Thanks, David. K5BZI, back to net.
Super cool. All right. Anybody else have anything for Ray tonight about the eclipse or otherwise? Come on now with your name and call sign.
N5LX.
Go ahead, Sky.
Yeah, I just wanted to put this out there. If you're interested in viewing the eclipse and you haven't figured it out yet, most people have, but there's a lot of ways to view it safely. I posted a couple of links on Discord for the Thursday Night Net channel for basically online astronomy supply catalog stores to where you can buy the special glasses. You can find those online. Usually just look up companies that sell telescopes. There's a lot of other places, but I would buy them from a reputable dealership, somebody who does stuff like that. Also, there's plans online where you can build viewers by using a pinhole and a piece of aluminum foil, and then it projects onto a piece of cardboard. You can also use a telescope or binoculars to do the same thing, to project it onto a white piece of paper or cardboard. But anyway, just a reminder for everybody to be safe and don't burn your eyeballs out.
Yeah, that's good advice, man. Don't do like Rusty and buy your Eclipse glasses out of the trunk where he's buying his Rolex watches. Don't do that. K5BZI, back to net.
Yeah, just add on to that. I'm an astronomy guy, so I was out taking pictures of the sun a few days ago just to dial in my camera settings. Yeah, and just everybody to understand, October 14th, this annular eclipse we're going to have, that means that the sun is never completely covered up by the moon. That's what annular means. And so there literally is no safe time to look at the sun without some kind of protection during that time. So do not, for whatever reason, with your eyes or with your cameras or with your cell phones pointed to the sun during the October 14th eclipse. In the April eclipse, there's actually going to be a few minutes there where it is, quote, technically safe to do that, but still a super bad idea because you've got to time the eclipse, and so really you're always better off using Baader film. It's B-A-A-D-E-R. Film is the most prolific item out there that you can buy. You can cut it into glasses. That's what most of the glasses are made out of. There are places giving away free glasses. I've seen multiple ads in the Austin area that are giving away free glasses to go do that. But for God's sakes, man, spend $5 and get yourself some glasses. Sunglasses don't work. ND filters up to a certain point in cameras do not work. This is literally keeping your vision, so this is not something to play with. Anybody else have anything else to say to Ray tonight? Come on now with your name and your call sign.
I'd just like to throw out there that real quick that if you don't buy good sunglasses to watch the eclipse, that ham radio is the perfect hobby for you. K5BZI, that's it.
Man, I really hate to add to that I have watched eclipses before through like 7 sets of sunglasses, and I was perfectly okay, but that's totally not cool. Do not do as I do. Just do as we say. Again, I didn't know any better then, but it's not the same. All right, so after Ray, I believe we have Ernesto. Ernesto, are you still with us? And what's going on?
This is KI5PZN. Hey, thanks, Steve, for running the net, and hello to everybody on the net. Not a whole lot of radio lately. Been beyond busy with the wealth of work and the non-profit. Spent the last 2 days digging a very long trench. Mira was helping me out, and boy, oh boy, I am thankful again for Tylenol. But getting there, almost there. That was just I think the last big push that we needed to do. Get that done. So hopefully, back to radio. Hopefully after this weekend. But going to Belton and looking forward to that. That's about it, man. Sending back to net control. This is KI5PZN.
So Ernesto, I'm a Southeast Texas guy originally for the first 40 years, and digging a trench in Southeast Texas really, we thought it was a big deal because it's kind of like you have to move all this dirt, and it's kind of muddy, and kind of clay. But so you're talking about digging a trench in like dirt, or you're talking digging a trench in rock? Over.
No, this was dirt, and the majority of it was that black dirt that's pretty easy to deal with. But the last, 10, 15 feet of it was clay, and the trenches didn't even want to eat into that. So that took a long time, but it's done. So I checked that from the list of things to do, man. Back to net, KFI-PZN.
So Ernesto, do you have anything to add to or comment about, the topic of how we can reach out to other hams who aren't active, or to get others more active? We had James, our LASA president, earlier, who talked about, just really, is there any ideas we have about, increasing participation in the hobby? Over.
Well, I think if we make more social, if we're able to do more social events, and I'm obviously I should be helping out with that, but being beyond busy. But the get-togethers, for whatever reason, that kind of get people talking, and then once everybody goes back home and hear each other on the radio, then it's a lot easier for people who are not that used to talking on the radio. But things like that, fox hunts, it's always a winner there, and special I guess events and things of that nature. My opinion is I guess a good way of approaching that. But I don't know, maybe some people have no ideas that we haven't looked into, so it's a good topic. Back to net control, KFI-PZN.
All right, Ernesto, thanks for that. Does anybody have any comments or questions or thoughts for Ernesto tonight? Come on now with your name and call sign.
N5SML.
Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Ernesto. I know what you mean about digging clay. I've done that quite a bit in the last couple of years here on the east side. But if you don't have it done yet, there's two things that I've found that make it a little bit easier. You can rent like a jackhammer, a demo hammer. Home Depot rents them. They have an attachment called a clay spoon. It's like sort of like a spade thing that goes on the end of a small jackhammer, and it helps a lot. The other thing that works real good is a pressure washer, but a lot of that depends on where's the water going to go. But it doesn't put out as much water as you actually think it does, and it's kind of easy to scoop it out when it's off with a shovel after you knock it loose with a pressure washer. So if you still got stuff to do, maybe think about trying either one of those. N5SML.
Thank you, Bill. We have to. It's already been done, but thank you for the ideas. We have to use a shipping hammer to take down a little retention wall that was right in the way where we needed to dig the trench, and then I rented a trencher. But those things are like, I don't know, over 200 pounds easily. And they make the job a lot easier, but still, you have to spend, I don't know, I spent 2 days there just digging that trench. It needed to be 1 foot deep by 8 inches wide, and the sun was really brutal the last 2 days, at least for me it was. But yeah, no, it's done, man. Thanks for the tips there. I will keep it in mind if I ever have to do another project like that one. Hopefully never again, but thanks, man. Back to net.
All right, good. Well, anybody else have anything else for Ernesto tonight? Come on now with your name and call sign. Well, Ernesto, great. Good. Happy to hear about your trench success. I know in my neck of the woods out west of Austin, digging a trench is kind of a big deal. It's kind of an all-weekend affair. First week I moved here, I spent literally an 8-hour day just digging 2 post holes, which was a new thing for me because I always thought that those kind of scissor-type post hole diggers were good for about 10 minutes each per hole, but not the same when you're dealing with rocks. So, anything else for the net tonight, Ernesto?
Oh man, that's about it. Like I said, it was just been a crazy week. I couldn't even run the monthly meeting for the other club, so go figure. Well, man, I appreciate you running the net, and again, hello to everybody listening and participating tonight. Sky, P's, and N, sending it back to net. I'll be on the site listening.
All right, well, good night, Ernesto. The next person on our check-in tonight is N5LX Sky. Sky, how are you this evening?
This is N5LX. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I don't really have much to say tonight, believe it or not. I've been kind of preoccupied with some other stuff going on, but doing well. I seem to, as far as radio stuff goes, I've got a lot of projects that are kind of on hold. I'm like collecting parts or trying to figure them out. I think it's kind of funny, and maybe I'm getting old, but I keep forgetting when I have my mag mount antenna on the car, and if I'm not hitting it with a low hanging tree, I'm like occasionally forget I've got it on when I drive the car into the garage. It doesn't hurt anything, but it's just kind of funny. The HF mag mount antenna, it's over 80 inches, so if you can imagine, I've talked to Ernesto about this. I mean, with the antenna that tall, it's not difficult to run into things with it. So I'm just trying to condition myself to just get used to having that thing up there, and maybe unconsciously keeping my eye out for low-hanging tree branches, and definitely the top of the garage door opening.
Yeah, well, Sky, I totally get that, and same way here. I kind of forget what stuff's on my car when I pull in and out. So, do you have any thoughts about our request from James tonight, our LAHSA president, about how we can kind of extend our reach out to other hams or people who aren't hams to get them more involved in the hobby?
Well, one of the things I've kind of been in the habit of doing, I guess I didn't really think about it initially, but it seems kind of a natural thing at this point. When I'm doing fox hunts, or when I'm just out and about driving around, maybe I'm walking around and I have an HT, or somebody sees the radio antenna in my car, especially during fox hunts. People see you walking around with a Yagi. They ask you, what are you doing? And it's like, it's kind of like being an ambassador for ham radio. You kind of tell them what it is and what it's all about, and that it's fun, but also, that ham radio is kind of a platform, an excuse, if you will, to learn all kinds of things, to make friends, but also to it's an introduction to all kinds of technology that can open some doors, So I guess that's kind of what just comes to mind. I'm not sure what else to say on that, but maybe I'll plant the seed and see if I get any other ideas.
All right, Sky. Well, I agree. Let's just plant the seed, and while we're planting the seed, let's do a station ID. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. And now going back to our network, does anybody have any comments or questions for Sky tonight? Come on now with your call sign and your name. Thanks, Sky. Well, good luck to you on your antenna projects. I look forward to seeing your next one, hopefully at the next field day, because I was pretty fascinated by what you had at the super hot summer field day. So let's do it in a little bit of cooler weather. Anything else tonight for the net, Sky?
No, that's about it. Maybe I'll have something better next time. But I always enjoy listening to what's going on with everybody else. Just hi to everybody, and thanks for hosting the net. This is N5LX. Back to you.
Thanks, Guy. Have a good evening. All right, that was the end of my list for the first round of regular check-ins. Let's do a second round of regular check-ins. If you'd like to check in now, you do not have to be a club member, just a licensed amateur radio broadcaster. So come on now with your name and your call sign. Please give me that phonetically, kind of slow for the slow kids. Thanks.
This is
Kilo Echo 5 Romeo Sierra John.
This is Zulu 5 Bravo Sierra Rusty Northwest Austin. Hello, Steve.
This is Kilo Charlie 3 November Alpha Golf Randy Anderson Mill coming in on the flagship 320.
This is KB5MPJ Kilo Bravo 5 Mike Papa Juliet Jason and Beta.
This is Kilo India 5, Kilo Alpha Tango, Steven, North Austin.
This is Kilo India 5, Yankee Lima Sierra, Cody in Fort Hood.
This is David, November 5, Yankee Alpha November, November 5, Yankee Alpha November.
I5NLK, this is Anderson. That's November Lima Kilo in Manchester.
Well, dang, I think we hit the bonus round there. This is net control. Steve Johnson, KI5UKF. Let's go back up to the top of our list. We have John, I think I5ESJ. John, what's going on tonight?
I think it's me, Kilo Echo 5 Romeo Sierra. Is that what you got?
I'm pretty sure that's what I got, but I'm also pretty sure it's close enough. So come on down, John. What's going on?
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure how I was getting in the machine. I know I checked in right about before Ernesto on the way home. Today we went to the Williamson County Club meeting, and we got out, and just in time I was hearing this guy commenting about the fox that I put in Leander. And that was kind of an accident how that fell into the shade or the shadow like it did, because the hook's on the side. So when I let go of it, it swung into the bush like that. But it's not black. It's green and a tan and a brown color, kind of like a camouflage with a label on the side of it with my information. But yeah, that was an accident. And I had no intention on getting it buried so hard like that. It was I found that trail on All Trails website, and I thought that was a pretty neat one with the structures and all that stuff. So that's how that came about. KE5RS.
Well, first of all, thank you for participating in the fox hunt. event. And Ernesto, I'd push it back to you. Do you have any comments or questions about how that hunt went down? We might have lost Ernesto for the evening. Does anybody else have any questions or comments for John?
10-5 LX.
Go ahead, Sky.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for hosting the hunt, John. I enjoyed it. And the camouflage paint, I think that maybe explains the challenging aspect of it pretty well. I think the angle of it may have contributed, but there were a bunch of contributing factors, but I think we all enjoyed it, so thanks again.
Yeah, that was a really neat trail, and Diane and I have been wandering around in different places up here trying to find those trails again. I really like some of the fox hunts in Austin that were on some of the trails and stuff. I like the one that was out on Lady Bird Lake, out on that pier, and then some of the trails, the hiking trails and so forth. Those are really neat. It's not just hunting the fox; it's getting out and seeing the neat things that you haven't seen before too, that we really enjoy. So that's one of the things that's got us motivated. And my fox is inspired by yours. It's in the PVC pipe, just like yours. I think it might be a little bit longer, but it's in a little bit skinnier, but it's probably a little bit longer. Other than that, we're I don't know if we're doing anything this weekend because of the SWAT Fest. So we'll be at the SWAT Fest, and I've got a couple things we'll probably have on a table. I'll be with the ham buds in the north. It could be the northwest corner of the place there. So I may be sitting over there or wandering about, so hopefully we can run into each other and meet up. KE5RS.
Yeah, Sky, any response to that?
No, I'm just looking forward to the next hunt. I've run into him a couple of times, and he's a regular participant, and I always get a kick out of hiding foxes, knowing who's going to be looking for them. But I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm not going to be hosting a hunt this weekend, but I definitely have plans for the week after that.
Well, again, not to speak officially for the club, since I'm not officially for the club, but again, want to let everybody know that thank you so much, Sky, John, anybody that hides those foxes. It's just really, we understand that takes time and effort out of your work week, and just really appreciate it because I think there are so many people that enjoy that. I know that I've enjoyed trying a few times, and so express our appreciation for that. Does anybody else have anything else, comments, questions, otherwise for John tonight?
PBS. Hey John, I just wanted to throw that in there as well. That the fox hunt was a total pain in the butt, but I loved it, and it really made me trust my gear, and it made me, had I not done so many fox hunts, we got there was 4 other people I think, and they were searching way out, and I couldn't see that thing at all. I can't see skies, so yours was invisible, and man, I knew it was in that tree, and I walked around that tree, and I knew it was there, and I could not find it. So I think whether or not you meant it to be difficult, your fox is invisible. I love that it's so tiny, and man, we couldn't see it at all. And I think the tree fox is definitely the way to go, because we were there for a good hour searching for that thing, and even if people knew what we were up to or looking for a logbook or whatever, they couldn't get that fox. So I think the tree fox is the way to go.
John, do you have any response to that?
I lost my speaker. Somehow the connection went bad there for the first half of your transmission there, Rusty. Yeah, but yeah, I do like the tree fox. The one on the ground, I liked it too. In the couple places that I was able to hide it was good, but it the tree just gives you a whole lot more options because I want to try to hide it in the wide open places, in plain sight basically, just hidden in plain sight, where you don't have to go wandering off the trails. Hopefully you can just be right on the walkways or the paths or where kids are playing and that sort of thing was kind of my what I was looking at doing, trying to make it really easy so that, but that last one, it fell. Like the hook's on the side, so when you let go of it, it swings, and it swung right into the shadow. Like, and even after I let go of it, I go, where'd it go? And but it was a pretty good one. And that's not going to be my intention to have them hidden like that all the time. But that's what my plan is just try to hide them in the wide open places. KE5RS.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I like that, because it does. Sky seems to be taking them for the team. Philip got one stolen, so I like that we can be a little more out in the open with the tree fox, and unless somebody wants to go climb the tree, and even if they do, they don't know what's up. But yeah, I think that's great. Well, thanks, man, and keep hiding them because it's a whole lot of fun having some stuff to do up here north. So we'll send it back to net control. WZ5BBS.
Thank you, Rusty and John, for that exchange. And does anybody else have anything else for John tonight?
KR5PZN.
Go ahead, Ernesto.
Hey, John. Just want to thank you for hiding that fox. The guy said it was a lot of fun. And we've been doing this pretty often for a couple of years, so it's nice to get a little bit of a different flavor on the hunt. And for those of you listening, it was one of those things where it was really hard to spot it, but once you spot it, if you looked away and you look back, you would have to look for it again. So let me reset. It was a blast. We had a great time. I know Rusty mentioned that, but we spent about an hour and 20 minutes, and out of that, around 20 minutes was driving, and about an hour just staring at that tree. But we had a really, really good time, and I just want to thank you again for building that fox, because it's really unique, and for hosting during the weekend. Back to you.
Yeah, Rusty. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed you guys' comments and how, 30 minutes looking up into the sky and all of that. But honestly, I really didn't mean it for it to come out like that. But it was fun. A lot of fun. Another thing too, it's not any work going out and planting these foxes. It's a lot of fun just building the fox and being creative and trying to come up with a way to get something that was going to do the job. I was inspired by Sky's. His was the tree hanging thing, and I go, that's really cool. And Diane took a picture of us at one time, and I saw your pole. So I'm using almost the identical pole as you are, Sky, and except it's shorter. I can't put it up quite as high, but yeah, that whole tree thing was inspired by you, Sky, and Ernesto. You got your XYL, I think it was, that planted it out there, or no, who was that? One of them planted it out there on that pier on the Lady Bird Lake. That was really neat, and the other ones by the skateboard park. Those were all really neat. So that's a lot of fun. But building them and putting them together, just that is also a lot of fun. KE5RS.
I agree, and I remember Paul, KA5FZU, told me a story about one fox hunt where the fox was hidden in a soda, like a cup, and it was a short antenna, so it was hidden on the straw of the cup.
So you can imagine looking for a fox, and a fox is hitting a styrofoam cup. And then there's another one. He said that this couple having a picnic in the middle of the park, and they were the one hosting the fox, or hiding the fox. And people were, their gear was pointing at the couple, but they wouldn't approach them out of respect. So it was a funny story too. But anyways, back to net. This is KFI PZ. Thank you both for that exchange. That reminds me that the OHART Compliance Division has reminded me to do a station ID. So let's do that. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. All right, back to our net tonight. Does anybody else have anything for John tonight? The apparent camouflage tree hanging fox hider. Anybody else? Come on now with your name and your call sign. Well, John, thanks for coming on to the net tonight, and thanks again for that fox hunt. I personally think that all foxes should have like fireworks going off from them, should have flashing LED lights and lots of other things. That's just my personal opinion. Again, that's because I am 0 for 3 on finding foxes, as I've reminded this club very often. So anyway, but I appreciate your efforts. Anything else tonight for us, John?
No, I think that kind of identification is going to get your 6, 7, 8-year-olds climbing up the trees and trying to get after those things. But we'll try to keep the normal traffic needs to be out of sight from the normal traffic. But I agree. When I'm looking for them, I'm looking for fireworks as well. That's all I got. Thank you, KE5RS.
Well, John, it's astute that you identified 6, 7, or 8-year-olds with my ability, because that is exactly on point, and I totally agree with you. I think that's kind of where I am, and that's kind of the advertisement I need to apparently to find a fox. Anyway, again, in all seriousness, thank you so much for putting out the foxes and putting out that fox, and really I think it's cool that the efforts to hide them and so forth. Just obviously my skill level is not quite up to speed, and that is not true of this club. Anyway, all right, so let's go over now to our club president, WZ5BBS. Rusty, what's going on tonight?
Hey, Steve, everybody on the net. Yeah, man, it's been a busy week. Digging the weather. Says it's 73 outside, 85% humidity, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Looking forward to Belton on Saturday. It's going to be an early morning, but I got to figure out when I'm going to get there and all that kind of fun stuff. So Belton's going to be fun. I know a lot of people that are going, so it'll be good to meet up with everybody, see what's happening. We got F1 this weekend, which is cool. Gets me something to do. We had last weekend off, so I got some friends coming over to watch some F1 on the TV. And yeah, man, just gonna be hanging out. I cleaned out the back porch and got it all nice so I can open it up for the decent weather coming up. And yeah, man, just kind of hanging out at the house. The fox hunts were fun. I didn't go see Skies, but we definitely got John's, and it was enough for both. So that's about all I'm up to, man. And we'll turn it back to you.
All right, Rusty. Well, this F1 thing, I mean, that you keep referring to, I'm sure eventually we'll figure out what that is, and we'll all know what it is, and we can all join you in celebrating it. It's still a mystery to me, but again, I look forward to meeting with you and discussing that a little further. Anybody have anything tonight for our club president, Rusty, WZ5BBS? Come on now with your name and your call sign.
A5BZI.
Go, Ray.
Hi, Rusty. Love you, man. We're going to see Queen. It'll be cool. Have fun at F1.
Oh, very fun. I'm not going when it's here. It's too much chaos down there, and I prefer sitting on my butt. But have fun at Queen. It'll be a whole lot of fun, and yeah, man, love you too.
Anybody have anything else for our president tonight? Rusty, about F1 or whatever that is, and apparently anything else. Over.
N5YAN.
Go ahead.
Hey Rusty, I know you're very far north, but are you going to join the UT Club folks at Whataburger for Belton?
More than likely not. I will have to check with the driver and see, but more than likely we will make our way there. And then, I don't know, I honestly don't know what our plans are, but y'all have fun at the Whataburger, and I'm sure we will see you up there. Can't wait to see what y'all get into.
All right, I was just curious because you were so interested in the classified nature of its location. Back to net.
I don't know. I think Net and the club is a little curious about what the Whataburger event is, so maybe we can get some more details. Over.
Yeah, so the UT Amateur Radio Club will be meeting at the Carruthers Dormitory at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time, and from there we will be going to the Whataburger nearest campus for breakfast, probably around 5:05 to 5:15 a.m. And then after that, we're just going to head on down to Belton. Back to net.
A very cool plan indeed. Thank you for that. Anybody else have anything else for Rusty tonight?
KFIPZN.
Go ahead, Ernesto.
Rusty, I'm going to be picking you up at 4:30 so we can make it to the breakfast at 5 o'clock.
All right, well, guys, you've had it. You want to see a grumpy old man at Whataburger for 4:30, man. That's, oh, good Lord.
Joke, obviously. Back to net, KFIPZN.
All right, anybody else have anything for Rusty tonight? Over. All right, Rusty, well, 4:35, whatever the magic number may be, good luck on your trip to Belton this weekend. Do you have anything else for the club tonight?
Yeah, so I'm curious, are you going to Belton, Steve?
I'm not going to make it. The word is there's some kind of crazy University of Texas football game this weekend that I know nobody's heard of, but I have a few plans for that, and I have some cooking obligations before that. So unfortunately, I won't make it this weekend, but I hope to make it soon. I've never made a ham fest, and so I think that would be a super cool opportunity. And again, despite the earliness, I think it would be a lot of fun. So hopefully next time. Over.
No, I love this net. You learn something new every time. I had no idea UT played football, so good to go, man. Well, all right, well, hope your team wins and all that kind of fun stuff. I will be watching some Formula One sitting on my butt with absolutely zero obligation. So drink one for me, man, and we'll see you on the repeater at some point. WZ5VPS, back to net control.
Speaking of seeing people on the repeater, let's do a station ID. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. Back to our network. Let's move on to Randy in Anderson Mill. What's going on, Randy?
Hey, y'all, what's happening? Yeah, it's Randy, KC3NAG. Well, I wasn't planning on going to Belton, but I got a last-minute offer from Ray to go up Friday night and stay in his camper. So I think he's probably just looking for gas money is really what the deal is. So I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But on a lighter note, Ernesto came over last Friday for the end of the month Friday night Taco Rag Chew Net that we co-hosted, co-net controlled, and it was a blast. Ernesto brought some tacos. I mean, the whole thing's about tacos, okay? You gotta talk about tacos. Don't even check in if you're not gonna say something about tacos, alright? Other than that, just way cool, fun, laid back, rag chew net, end of the month, Friday nights, 7 to 9. So, I understand there's already some people signed up, so, hey, it was totally fun. Back to you.
Yeah, Randy, first of all, on the Ray invitation, as far as that being about gas money, I mean, I'm not sure. I think you were the only one that got it. So I think if it was just about gas money, maybe some of us other, proletariat out here would have gotten that invite, but didn't happen. So anyway, I think you should be a little more, blessed with that invitation than your statement mentioned. Second, on the taco net, I mean, I think that's a lot of fun. I didn't realize that the actual subject matter was about tacos. I've not been able to make one of those yet, although I hope to host one in the near future. Super interested in any comments you have about, what is the taco discussion? Is it ingredients? Is it cooking styles? Can you give us a little more ambiance to that situation? Over.
Oh yeah, I mean it's all of those and more. What's your favorite? And that kind of thing, and I don't know, flavors, taste, maybe even where you go for tacos. That's sharing is caring, knowing where there's some good tacos. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and you can talk about anything else too, of course. We talked to Sky for about 15 minutes. Yeah, he was on first, and we just got talking because there's no pressure, and somebody else gets on, talk to them for a while, and then start, get the conversation intermingling and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, if you get a chance to, doing net control, any kind of net control is always fun. It's always a great experience. And, the traveling taco net is a great way to get some net control experience if you've never done it before. Easy peasy.
Yeah, Randy, and we are super interested as a club to getting some more people interested in net control. So, absolutely, I think it's a lot of fun to do this. Really, I mean, you kind of get to have a more personal contact with the folks, and I think it's I think I'm the newest net controller for this net, and really, it's very easy, and you can screw up as much as you need to, and there are people that will help you and fix it for you. It's really it is a risk-free environment, more or less. So, anybody else have any comments or reactions to Randy tonight, including the bourgeoisie over there at BZI?
K5BZI.
Go ahead, Ray.
First of all, hey Randy, looking forward to picking you up tomorrow, man. It's going to be a fun weekend. And we had a blast at your place, and shout out to Ernesto for doing the traveling taco net, man. That was a blast at your place. Thanks for hosting. And looking forward to your first and the wife for coming over and joining us. And looking forward to you hosting the net, Randy. It's going to be a good one. And before we let you go, now, yeah, exactly. Thumbs up from Steve. Now that you've got the experience, yeah, man, looking forward to a Randy net. It's going to be fun. But before we let you go, the YL wanted to say hi. K5BZI, pass it over to Allie. she forgot what she wanted to say. Give her a minute. Let's see. Come on. Did you? No. All right. Well, Randy, Allie says hi, and thanks for showing her a good time. And we'll see you next time around. K5BZI, back to net.
Okay, Ray, thanks for all that. Yeah, I was going to mention Ray and Allie showed up too, so, it was really cool. It was so nice having you all here. And, yeah, say hi to Allie for me anytime.
Yeah, if you're not on the Thursday night net video chat, you're missing Cody and David and myself and Ray and Allie. And Allie is completely ready for winter. She is dressed for bear in her kind of a stylish, kind of looking, not a hoodie kind of thing, but kind of a very nice warm environment there. So she's ready to go. All right, great. So does anybody else have anything for Randy tonight from Anderson Mill?
KF5 YLS.
Go ahead, Cody.
Randy, how's my winter field day partner going? Hopefully everything's going well with you. Glad to hear that the Taco Net was at your place. I bet that was fun, and I would be going with y'all this weekend, but I have to work Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday I don't know, I just couldn't have came, so not gonna get to see y'all this weekend, but just wanted to check in with my winter field day partner.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Cody. Yeah, well, speaking of winter, it's gonna really cool down here really quick, so I'm actually packing up my heavy comforter, my sweatshirt, a flannel shirt, some gloves and mittens, and my hat, so I think I'll be okay up in Belton. And hey, I forget, you were actually really, really close.
Yeah, I'm not that far away from Belton, so it's not, it could have been an easy trip up there for me, but I'm getting to work, so unfortunately duty calls before having fun with ham radio. As much as I love ham radio way more, duty calls first, so back to you.
Yeah, that's right, Cody. No worky, no radio. That's just how it is. Well, hey, thanks, Cody. I'm going to turn it back to net control. This is KC3 NAG.
All right, Randy, thanks for that. Anybody else have anything else for Randy tonight? Over.
K5PZN.
Go ahead, Ernesto.
Hey, Randy, it's good to hear you, man. Thanks again for having me over. It was fun, man. We had a great time. For those of you listening, there was more laughing than talking, but we had a great time. And Ray showed up there too with Allie. We had a good time. Then we have stayed there for a little bit after the net, hung out for a little bit. It was a great time, man. Definitely it was fun. So thanks again for hosting and having me there and crashing your plays, and for putting up with my silliness and shenanigans, man. Back to you. KF5BZN.
Well, I need to thank you, Ernesto, because, it was your idea. If you hadn't come up with this, it wouldn't be happening. And it was just a blast. It's different. One of the fun things about this is, if you run the net, you are running the net, okay? But if you got two people who are sharing the mic, well, I don't know, like Ernesto, he just gets tired and he walks away, goes over and gets some more tacos and leaves me with the mic, okay? But, the two of us are, paying attention, going back and forth as to, we're misleading this whole thing, and it makes it very, very exciting. It's a completely different thing than just doing it by yourself.
It's got a little bit more of a hanging out vibe than actually running a nest. It's just hanging out with the guys on the radio. That's the fun part about that, man.
Yeah, that's very true. It was so much fun, but I do emphasize the net control fun part of it. So yeah. KC3 Energy. I'm gonna take it back to net control.
BZI.
Roger that, thank you, sir. Yeah, Randy, man, I got to tell you, when it may seem like you're on your own, but when you're hosting the net, you got everybody there with you. Yeah, it's just like having everybody in your shack. They're just on the air with you. So it's the same dynamic, and you can interact with everybody. And I got to tell you, man, you were a natural. When Ernesto walked away from that mic, man, you took it over, and you were entertaining and fun to listen to, and you're a natural, dude. So we'd love to have you over on the net control side. So give it a thought, and that's all I got for you. K5BZI.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, I'm not trying to make it out like it's work. It was just like, I don't know. It's just like crazy fun, man. But it's kind of like that's what radio's all about. So, yeah, KC3 Energy, back to net control.
Yeah, Randy, I think that's great, and I think that just another plug, kind of along Ray's thought process for being in net control on Thursday night is, it's really, there's a script. You can pretty much, the first couple of times you just read it verbatim. After that, you start getting a little more comfortable, and you kind of start putting in your own stuff. It's really comfortable and natural, and if you just get totally stuck, there's all these people out there to help you, Ray and Rusty and Ernesto and all the other net controllers to say, it's like, hey, this other person checked in. I think the most tense part really is, taking down the check-ins and making sure you're getting the call, the call signs and the names right. And again, you screw those up. I mean, I can tell you, I'm looking at the next 4 or 5 call signs, and practically none of them have the correct call all the way down or the correct name. But I'm going to kind of fake it till I make it and make sure we get it done. I'm going to drop for a second. So really, not just Randy, but anybody who's listening. I mean, being a net controller is not a technical job or a skill job. It's really a lot of fun, and again, you do kind of get to make it your net. You get to control the pace and some of the content, and it's a lot of fun. And so it's really a great opportunity, to do some speaking and kind of connect out. And I know I learned everybody's call signs and names much faster being net control than I do just listening, because you kind of have to listen a little better than when you do when you're just listening. So really encourage anybody out there who's interested. So anybody else have anything for Randy from Andersonville tonight? Over. Well, Randy, good luck on your trip to Belton in the Taj Mahal of Ray's RV. We are all super jealous and awaiting our invite and turns, which I'm sure will be forthcoming in the very near future. All right, so let's move on now to Jason from Buda. Jason, what's going on tonight?
This is KB5MPJ. Not too much. Not going to make it to Belton. Kind of wanted to go, but going to do a little fishing this weekend. I've got some fishing plans we've been postponing for several weeks and finally getting to do it. So I'm going to go out to Devil's River this weekend and do a little fishing out there and Lake Amistad. So yeah, that'll be my weekend. I haven't done much radio except for Southside Simplex and getting up in the wee hours of the morning to disconnect my antenna frantically when I got woken up by the thunder. So that's pretty much what I've got. Back to net control.
Jason, just curious, I grew up in Beaumont, which is kind of down in southeast Texas and pretty close to saltwater, and I was kind of always a saltwater fisherman, so anytime I hear anybody saying, fishing and rivers and lakes and so forth, I'm just curious, what are you fishing for, and, where is Devil's River, where is Lake Amistad? Not familiar with either one of those, so just kind of curious.
So they're both near Del Rio. I mean, I say near, it still takes, an hour to drive around or whatever, but Devil's River flows into Lake Amistad, so right there near Del Rio. And we'll be fishing mostly for bass, maybe some panfish and catfish and stuff like that.
Well, that's super cool. Wish you the best for fishing. Again, I'm a fisherman, love it, and so hope you have a great trip. And, again, to me, fishing, whether you catch or not, is always a great experience. Better if you catch, but also always fun. So anybody have anything for Jason tonight?
If I'd be the...
Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, I much prefer catching over fishing, but I wanted to to mention, isn't the southern shore of Lake Amistad in Mexico, isn't that right on the border, Jason?
Yeah, I think it is actually on both sides. I'd have to double check that, but I think part of it, it's definitely on the border right there.
Yeah, that's cool. That's on my bucket list of places to go. Lake Amistad. That's pretty cool, man. Del Rio. So good luck with your fishing trip, and let's plan a POTA down there sometime.
Yeah, we could probably do Devil's River State Natural Area for a POTA. It's down there, and then I don't know if the Amistad Recreation Area might be on POTA. I don't know if it qualifies. It seems like they favor state and national parks, but it might be. I think it's part of the National Park Service.
Yeah, that, what's the one that Lance activates all the time downtown? The French Legation. I mean, that's not a park. That's a natural area or some sort of not park. So it's very possible. So yeah, let's check it out, man. We'll have a good trip, dude. Be safe. And good luck, and catch a lot of bass, and we'll catch you when you get back. K5BZI.
Okay, thanks, Ray, and have fun at Belton this weekend, KB5MPJ.
All right, great. Super happy to hear about Jason's fishing plans. Anybody else have anything else for Jason tonight? Over.
BBS.
Go ahead, Rusty.
I'm not going to get to see you at Belton. It's like we always bump into each other there. So have a good weekend, man. Hope you catch lots of stuff. And I need to put some more social stuff together so we can hang out and go do some stuff. But good luck this weekend, man.
Okay, thanks, Rusty. And have fun at Belton. I'll miss it this time, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of ham gear around for me in the spring if I can get around to going. So good luck there. I guess the trip to Belton's kind of like a fishing trip. You never know what you might catch. So have a good time, and looking forward to more social stuff coming up. KB5MPJ.
Total mystery here. Fishing. Belton, has anybody heard of the Red River rivalry? Anyway, again, sorry for that, but anybody else have anything for Jason tonight?
NAG.
Go ahead.
Hey, Jason, KC3 NAG, Randy. I kind of missed the first part. Like, what kind of fish are you fishing for there?
Mostly bass and possibly panfish and catfish. Kind of the usual suspects for Texas waters. But bass are probably what we're going to be going for first.
All right, cool, man. Make sure you bring back lots for all of this, okay?
We'll see. Got to get them on the hook first.
Easy eye.
That sounds like I need to start going with Ray.
BZI, I got a comment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Randy makes a good point there, Jason. We're doing a Parks on the Air activation here in a couple weeks, so I expect bass fish on ice that we can grill up and some homebrews for the weekend, man. That'll make a good weekend there.
Okay, well, I've got the homebrews covered, and if I don't bring back any fish from this trip, then maybe we can go catch some out there at South Plano River. That's a good fishing hole, too.
Yeah, that's a deal. That'll work. I'll bring the poles. Back to the net.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, I just had one of those homebrews tonight, and I think I may have another one here. So I'll have a Hefeweizen and an Oktoberfest on ice for South Plano River.
Ray has given the big thumbs up on the Discord video channel, so it sounds like you guys have a plan. Jason, all right, does anybody else have anything else for Jason tonight about fishing or Belton or otherwise? All right, Jason, thanks for visiting with us. Good luck on your fishing trip. Always good luck fishing. And next we'll go to KF5KAT, Stephen in North Austin. Stephen, how's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going pretty good. It's nice to hear everybody on the net again. Just going to do some POTO tomorrow over at McKinney Falls because, you know, got a Texas State Park pass and those things are amazing. Then I'm going to go to Belton probably afterwards, so Friday night into Saturday, and then most of the time I'm going to be at Belton on the booth, the Sin Trunk booth, you know, talking about trunk radio and stuff like that, like we have been for the last two other Beltons. So that's what I'm going to be doing mostly this weekend, and then on Sunday I'll be installing a repeater, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, that's it for this coming weekend, and KI5KAT back to net.
So, Stephen, again, on the McKinney Falls, you're going to do some POTA there tomorrow. I guess that's being Friday. And, yeah, I'm with you on the Parks Pass. I buy one every year. I'm not sure I ever get my money back on it, but I kind of feel like it's good money spent. But I was actually able to use it for the potluck coming up in November. So I hope you're planning to come there as well. So let me know what your plans are as far as tomorrow for the POTA at McKinney Falls.
Well, I've got the activation up on POTA.app, so I'm going to be going in at about 8 in the morning when they open, and I'm going to be staying as long as I can continue to do radio or until my voice gets out.
My actual one and only POTA activation is at McKinney Falls, so that's an emotional event for me. I haven't really gotten back into it since then, but Sam, I don't remember his call sign, but one of our club members was out there with me and kind of stepped me through the paces. So it's a lot of fun, totally fun, and plan on doing some more of that. So all right, well, let's pass it over to then anyone who has any comments or questions for Stephen in North Austin. He's doing a POTA this weekend. He's in trunk radio, and I think it's cool that he has a Parks Pass. Over.
FIPZN.
Go, Ernesto.
Hey, Stephen. Good to hear you on the net, and good to see you on the breakfast the other day. I have a question for you. What's the trunk radio, if you don't mind? I haven't been a ham for that long, and I know it's something commercial, but I have no idea. Would you mind KFI, PZN, back to you.
Yeah, it is commercial basically, since you can't actually do real trunking on ham radio due to FCC regulations. But we do have a commercial license that a group of buddies and I have that trunking radio is basically, you know, radio listens to a control channel for where to go when you want to do things or where to go to unmute instead of having frequencies assigned per channel. It's dynamically allocating frequencies for the talk groups. It's basically a time-sharing kind of thing, basically like that. And we use, let me let it drop. We use something similar to MMDVM called DVM host to basically do all the trunking stuff and then, you know, patch that into a repeater builder board and some CDMs, and you've got yourself a high-powered trunking site. So, you know, we're working on putting one up in town, so that's going to be fun.
Right on, man. That gives me a better idea. I was completely lost on that, but well, very cool, man. I'll stop by and say hi at Belton. And thanks again for the explanation, man. Back to you. This is KFI, PZN.
All right, great information. Does anybody have anything else for Steven tonight regarding Belton or POTA, McKinney Falls, trunk radio, etc.? Come on now with your name and call sign.
5BZI.
Ed.
Hi, Steven.
Hey.
Back to net, K5BZI. I didn't even get a hi, I got a hey. Oh, whatever, that's fine.
Well, to follow that energetic exchange of information, ideas, and analysis, does anybody else have anything for Steven? KF5KAC tonight, over to you. Well, Steven, hopefully I'll see you at Winter Field Day this year again, and good luck for Belton and your POTA tomorrow morning, and catch you hopefully at the potluck. Do you have anything else for the net tonight?
Nope. I'm heading off to bed. KI5KAT, y'all have a good night.
So comforting to hear at least one other person in this club that goes to bed around 10 o'clock at night. I know now that I'm not the only one. Thank you, Stephen, for that comfort. Let's move on now to KI5 YLS. Cody, how's it going tonight, Cody?
Yeah, what's going on, Ned? Let's see. What's going on with me? Well, I'm not going to Belton this weekend. Like I told Randy earlier, I've got work and some things to do. Let's see, I just got done being with Ray at our my uncle's funeral. So got to see the family. It's been a while since I've seen the family. Got to see the family. That was awesome. I just uploaded a video today, so still working on making videos. I've had a video of mine, and this brings a smile to my face every time I look at it or talk about it, but I've had a video of mine that got up to 7,000 views, which is just absolutely nuts to me. I've never thought I'd get a video over 1,000 views, let alone 7. So that's awesome. I had an interview today to get another job, and I got it. So I will be working at Big Lots as a cashier. So that's cool. And not really much else been going on. Continue the journey of my GED and continue living life, I guess. So yeah, won't be going. Let me reset real quick. Won't be going to Belton, but I will be, or I am planning on being there for the potluck and the club meeting. And I've been studying for a test upgrade, so we will see how that goes. I'm going to study a little bit more here and there, but we'll see how that goes. Other than that, can't think of really too much left to say, so I'll go ahead and send it back to Net.
Well, Cody, I think I speak for everybody on the net tonight in expressing our condolences and sadness for your uncle's passing. Congratulations on your video and getting 7,000 views. That sounds like a lot. I mean, again, I'm not very familiar with the YouTube platform, except when I need to change brakes on my car, and then that's kind of where I go. But that's awesome. If you would like to, I assume it's permitted to post the link to your 7,000 view video in Discord. I would like to look at it, or post it somewhere, or send it to me somehow. I would be happy to look at it and join the 7,000 views. I'd like to check it out. And congratulations on your Big Lots job. What are you doing there? I'm kind of curious what position you have there, and are you still with your other job as well? Back to you.
Yeah, so right now I'm still with Chipotle. That's where I'm working tomorrow. But I am going to probably find find another second job, because Big Lots is part-time only. I'll be a cashier, which is something I love to do all the time. And I'm probably going to find a different second job, just because Chipotle's been kind of shady, I guess you could call it, with my hours. And they have been kind of dropping me back a bunch. So it's not fun. I think now they've pushed me back to only working 1 day a week. And that's not fun at all. And as for the video, yeah, I just linked it in the Discord, Thursday Night Net thing. So yeah, so I'll be a cashier at Big Lots, and then I'm gonna go find another second job there to kind of fill up the time that I don't work at Big Lots. So yeah, that's the plan. Sending it back to Net.
Well, Cody, I bet there's more than a few folks on this network tonight that would join me in saying that, with the advice that, the absolute best time to look for a job is while you already have one. So you're doing that, and congratulations on you for doing that. Don't wait until something happens with that job, and it's always better and more comfortable to look for a new job while you already have one. So having said that, does anybody have anything for Cody tonight? Over.
BBS.
Go ahead, Rusty.
Hey, Cody, congrats on the new job at Big Lots. If you would, let me know when they get the Cowboys Super Bowl gear in super cheap. That way I can pick up a lot, and it doesn't cost me a whole lot. I'd appreciate it.
Ha, 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 ha. You've got real jokes, mister. I'll let you know when they get into the Super Bowl, when the gear goes crazy cheap for them too, because they're going to go very cheap for that too, trust me. Because we know they're going all the way. Even you can say it yourself, they're going all the way. It's okay, Rusty. It's not going to hurt you to admit that they may go all the way this year. It may hurt you some, but it's not going to kill you. I promise you. Back to you, Rusty.
I will be waiting for that phone call. I'll make sure to buy some hearing aids and Depends and a walker, because that's probably going to be about the time that they make it to the Super Bowl. So Either way, man, sorry we're gonna miss you, Belton. But yeah, congrats on the new job. I had to rib you a little. WZ5BPS, back to that control.
BZI?
Yeah, this is K5BZI. So it's a crazy story. So the other day I stopped in the convenience store and I had 2 Cowboys tickets sitting on the seat of my car. And I left my car door unlocked when I went in the store, man. And when I came back, there were 2 more. What the heck, man? K5BZI.
Y'all just got real jokes this year, huh? Y'all got so many jokes. But I guarantee you, just watch. When the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to be in this server, in this net, hooting up a storm. I'm going to rub it in all y'all's faces. I'm going to make all y'all pay for it. All the jokes. Just you watch. Just you watch.
Go Texans, K5BZI.
All right. Does anybody have anything else for Cody other than the thoughts about really what is the delta for Rusty between now, today, and using Depends? Is it that much time? Anyway, any other thoughts for Cody tonight?
NAG. Go ahead. Well, I don't know, Rusty's probably right, okay, but but on another note, I was going to ask Cody that hey, can we, hit Big Lots, okay? Like if you're working at Big Lots, can we get the family discount through Uncle Ray? That would really help things out a lot. I was just curious, is there a family discount we can use?
Well, so they didn't talk too much about discount when I went to the interview today. But I think I can maybe move the discount for families. So what you might have to do is you might have to wait till I come to Austin, and then you'll have to go in with me as an uncle or a cousin or something like that, and let me buy what you want, and then maybe I might be able to get the discount on it. So we'll just have, I don't know, we'll have to see, but we'll have to work something out. Back to you, Randy.
Yeah, I'm sure. And of course you're going to have to put your markup onto, time, traveling, and expenses and whatnot. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll go shop someplace else. Anyway, KC3NEG, back to net.
All right, thanks, Randy. Anybody have anything else for Cody tonight? All right, Cody. Well, congratulations on the new job. Sorry to hear about your uncle, and I am going to go, after we finish the net tonight, I'm going to go check out your video that you posted in the Discord channel tonight. So I will check that out. Next we have N5YAN, and I'm sorry I missed the name, and I recognize that call sign, but I don't remember the name. My apologies. This is what happens when you do net control, is you don't remember stuff, and it's totally okay, and nobody's really mad, right? N5YAN, how's it going?
Yeah, the name here is David, and what was the question for this week? I'm forgetting.
Yeah, David, the question was from our LASA club president, just asking about how do we expand the hobby? How do we expand ham radio into both getting people that have licenses to be more active in clubs like ours, as well as people who aren't licensed to get interest in the club?
Yeah, totally. I think a big thing for this is leading by example, showing up to nets and other club-related events on time and being very punctual is incredibly important. I think that is a a mainstay of amateur radio and bringing people into it. And I also think the importance is not pushing, I mean, jokes aside, I think the important thing is not pushing one aspect of the hobby too far, being really open and inviting about all the stuff amateur radio has to offer, and just leading with the fact that it's a fun hobby, not that it will save your life if you get in a car crash and there's no cell service or whatever sales pitch people want to make. Because I don't think people personally necessarily like being sold things, or having to have their thoughts coerced, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's sort of my 2 cents.
I think those are great points, David. I really like the idea about the concept of us not having competition within the hobby between, whatever it is, CW digital and phone and so forth, because I think that's right. That's completely counterproductive. I think instead, the exciting thing is to tell people about ham radio and say that if you get into it and get your license, that you now have access to all of these different modes or techniques or technologies or whatever. I think that's a great point, and I think that's very astute of you. I've never really thought about it that way before, but I guess I do feel a little bit sometimes of that tug between the different modes, and people saying, come over here and do this and try us. And I think it's all open. I think we need to push that. So totally agree. Anything else you want to add to that, David, before we open it up to the net for you?
The only real thing question I had was for Cody. I didn't get a chance to ask, but Cody, would you consider working another food service job? You said Chipotle didn't really treat you well, so I'm curious what your opinions on the food service industry are after this experience.
Cody?
Cody has left the building. K5BZI.
All right, Dave, we might have to wait for that question for another day. All right, anybody else have anything? Let's open it up now for comments or questions to David. All right, David, I think, again, very astute observations on the hobby, and I think we should all, you said lead by example, I think we should lead by your example and be careful to make sure that we understand that we're all ham radio licensees, and that, we all are in the same hobby, and despite the fact that we may spend a lot of our time in different aspects of that hobby, whether that's digital or phone or CW, that we're really all in the same hobby, and that we promote the hobby universally. I think that's very astute. Dave, do you have anything else to add tonight before we move to the next contact? Okay then. All right, let's move on to Anderson and Manchac. How's it going, Anderson?
Yeah, KI5 and okay. It's going good. This has been a heck of a net so far. Thanks for running it. My radio has auto shut off twice now because you've been going for a while now, which is, I guess, pretty normal. But it's been fun to listen and all that. I don't really have anything radio related to add, but that's kind of the norm. So KI5 and okay.
All right, man, so no radio, so let's just dig into your personal life then, like what's going on with your family, your yard, any projects you're working on, because we know you've got stuff going on, Anderson, so tell us what else is happening outside of radio.
Well, dang, man, you're going to get personal, and you just reminded me, too, as I look up at my desk up here, I got to like legit fly a Cessna 172 this past weekend. So, and that technically counts as radio somewhat too, because I got in the plane, we did our little walk around, and we took off, and one of the first things that I asked the dude was, I was like, okay, so can I make some of the radio calls? And he kind of looked at me like, what is wrong with this guy? He's up here to fly a plane. Why would he want to play with the radios? But I was just interested. I wanted to hear what it sounded like. I guess all the radio knowledge I learned from ham stuff kind of transfers over to other things, one of which being learning how to talk through a headset. It's kind of like you just treat it like a Baofeng. You got to kind of talk really, what would you call it, like authoritatively, and you got to kind of speak up, I guess. But it was super cool. So yeah, that was the only real personal thing I had.
Well, Anderson, I'm guessing I'm joined by lots of people on the net tonight with the excitement and envy of your ability to actually fly a plane for real. That's very, very cool. Again, you're tying it into radio, but I think just the ability to actually control the surface areas of an airplane would be a real huge experience for anybody. Anything else you want to add to that experience?
No, I mean, not really. It's just, it's what you get for having a great wife. My ex-YL is phenomenal, and so for my 40th birthday, she got me a 1-hour Discovery flight, which I will hopefully lead right on into getting a private pilot certificate if everything works out well. But it's one of those things. You get to be old, and you get to, I guess, finally get to do cool stuff. But
man, that is awesome. And speaking of checking in from the Cessna, let's do a station ID. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N508K. Does anybody have anything else for Anderson tonight? Our next round of regular check-ins. Anybody that's hanging out there, if you are a licensed ham radio operator, you are welcome to check in. You don't need to be part of this club, but if you've been listening, lurking, peeking, whatever, you are welcome to check in at this time. All I need is your ham radio call sign, hopefully phonetically and slowly, and your name. Come on now with that call sign and name.
K7TDA.
We got one call sign there. Anybody else want to come in now for the second round or whatever round it is? Regular check-in. All right, that last transmission, I had a lot of static in. Can you come on back with your name and your call sign again, or if anybody heard that better than me, if you could relay that to me.
Yeah, it was K3MRV, Kilo 3, Mike Romeo Victor.
All right, I copied K3MRV. Anybody else for this round of regular check-in? All right, let's go back to our top of our list of two. I heard K7TA, was that correct? And what's that name again, and what's going on tonight?
David, K7TVA. Sorry, I didn't follow the instructions to give you my name there earlier. I have a comment for Anderson. Hopefully Anderson has it checked out, which is that flying is awesome. I actually took, I think it was 13 hours of instruction time when I was younger, which was long enough for me to realize this wasn't something I was going to stick with the rest of my life, and stop there. It's very cool. But for me, one of the coolest aspects of it was getting to talk on the radio, talk to the tower, talk to the ground ramp person. I'm probably not using the exact right terminology there. And then here I am, I guess, with the radio and no airplane. So I guess that worked out okay. That was all I wanted to add to that. But flying is very cool. My brother went on and did get his pilot's license, and then got his ham license and never talks on the radio. So he just likes the flying part. That's all I have. K7TVA, David in North Austin, back to the net.
So, Anderson, that was David explaining the dichotomy between apparently flying and radio, and where he and his brother had the experience where he ended up with radio and no flying. The brother ended up with the experience of flying and no radio. So, Anderson, do you have any comment or response to that?
Well, KI5NOK. I would say I'm pretty bad about picking hobbies up and then setting them down, but I think ham radio is probably one of the ones that's stuck for at least a while now. So I don't see me going anywhere. But yeah, if you compare the hobbies, right, the money you spend on ham radios is nothing compared to what you could potentially spend on the aviation one. So that makes me just a little bit afraid.
That's right. That's a good line to use with spouses. It's cheaper than an airplane, honey.
I will agree with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is Net Control. My DJI drone is the closest I ever got to actually flying airplanes, and you know, it's close enough for me. Again, thanks, David. 13 hours of instruction. You know, I guess you didn't quite get there to that pilot's license, but that sounds like it's super interesting. I think it would be totally fun to try that out if you know if the price is right. So, anybody have anything they want to talk to David about tonight? He's got some flight time in and had some comments about radio and flight. Over. All right, David. Well, thanks tonight, and thanks for checking in the net tonight, and we'll hopefully see you down in another net. Let's move on to now K3MRB. Didn't get a name with that. Apologize if I didn't hear it correctly, but what's going on, K3MRB?
Yeah, K3MRB, name here is Marvin. Sorry about that. It's been a hot minute since I checked into the net. Yeah, I was going to ask Anderson where he did his discovery flight. I've got about 36 point something hours. Used to do training out at Georgetown there at Genesis Flight Academy, which highly recommended. But yeah, just another ham radio airplane crossover. So yeah, congrats on your discovery flight. That definitely, you know, if that doesn't give you the bug to go do it, I don't know what will.
KI5NOK.
Did you catch and copy that from Marvin, K3MRB? He's got 36 hours of flight time. Was curious about where you did your discovery flight. Over.
Yeah, KI5NOK. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to key up on top of you, and then I think I did. But the place I went to is called On the Fly Aviation in New Braunfels, and the reason I picked down there is because my mother-in-law is down there. So my ulterior motive is that I can go down there and let my kiddo hang with grandma while I go fly, because that's really the only way I think I can make the scheduling work.
Gotcha. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's a fun deal. You know, if you're at all into aviation and don't get airsick and you know have an interest in it, it's a good way to spend some time. And I was actually surprised when I got into it. It was actually cheaper than I thought it was going to be. Still not free, obviously, but yeah, super fun. Kind of dovetails with radio a little bit. My instructor, and I would credit this with ham radio, my instructor early on was like, you know, your radio seems pretty confident using the radio. I would owe that to ham radio for sure, because that's a big part of the process is knowing who to talk to and you know, who you are, where you are, what you need, all that good stuff. So anyway, congrats. That's awesome. And yeah, that's all I have. K3MRB.
Okay, well, does anybody else have any comments or questions for Marvin about his flight experience or anything else? Come on now with your name and your call sign. All right, great. Marvin, thanks for checking in the net tonight, and let's circle back to another round of regular check-ins. Do we have anyone else out there, licensed ham operators, that would like to check in to the net tonight? Please come on now with your name and your call sign, slowly and phonetically if you can. Thanks. Always fun when the repeater tries to check in, but I'm not falling for that one again. I've done that a couple of times, and I know that you're not a real person. So I think it looks like it may be time to wrap up this net tonight. I want to thank everyone for joining us at the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. This is a service of the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club. Call sign N50AK. We are here every night at Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central. This is a non-profit-based company or corporation based in Austin, Texas. For more information, you can see our website at n50ak.org. There you can read all about the club and sign up for our email list or donate to support the club for our continued growth of amateur radio. You might also consider joining our Discord group that several of us are on tonight. We've got 4 or 5 people in the video room tonight where we can stay in touch when we're not on the radio. It's a lot of fun during the week to kind of touch base with people when you can't quite get to your radio because, I don't know, maybe you have a job or something else like that. We also always want to thank Kyle KA5B for linking the University Link repeater system to this net. Once again, I am KI5UKF, Steve, from my QTH here in Dripping Springs, Texas. I want to tell everybody tonight, 73, thanks for hanging out with us, and the system is now returned to regular amateur use.
Thank you, sir, for running the net. WZ5BBS.
Net Steve, K5BZI.
Grazie, KI5UKF.
Thanks, Matt. KC3, NAG.
KF5CCN, WB5TXW, over.